I have a lot of work to do on this thing. But you know, it is a Honda, so I have a lot of faith in these machines. But it's going to be an ordeal. It's going to cost a bunch of money to get this thing roadworthy. So let's get started. The Africa Twin, that's the rental car. By the way, interesting rental car. It's a hybrid Fiat 500. So I remembered I have a little mini air pump. I want to try and inflate this. I used a hand pump and water came out, so now I'm going to push it as close as I can without hitting the car. An old pump that I brought from the US just for inflating the Africa Twin in case I got a flat tire. And it came with a sealed plastic casing. I removed it, I don't know why, because it was too big. And I have an extra set of wires here. I have this and then that. So hopefully this is going to work. Let's plug it in. Where's the valve stem? Do this. Well, that's pretty amazing that it inflated it, the bike up with air. Now let's get that rear tire properly inflated. I think I'm going to start by removing this to get the airbox. Removing the screws here from the airbox. There are two types. There's the longer ones that belong towards the back and the short ones that belong to the front. So let's remove this. Pull this thing out. I was expecting it to be worse, but we're definitely going to have to clean this thing. Yeah, it's a little dirty right there. But surprisingly, not that bad. There's even inside the airbox, it's fairly clean. The next step is trying to get some power to the front brake. Right now, the front brake is non-existent, and I think it's because it developed water in the airlines and there's air in the airline. So let's go do that. The screws have a little rust on them, but they're not bad. The problem with working here is that I don't have access to many tools like I have at home, so we are going to have to be a lot more careful and use different techniques. So there goes one screw, remove the other one. Also don't have a tripod. And now, I've already looked at this and it's not too bad. Remove the cap. Inspect this for any possible damage. One of the reasons I think I might have to get a new brake master cylinder rebuild is that there's like some gel on the sides, and usually that's when like the brake fluid starts to become like gel and solid. But hopefully that's not going to be the case. If that's the case, I'm going to have somebody else rebuild it. Good news, just by opening the valve at the bottom, like the nipple, I managed to get some brake feel back onto the brakes. So that's pretty good. It looks like there was just a little bit of air in the brake lines. Open up the valve. Push the brake, close it, and now it's starting to get some feel back on there. Make sure you top off the brake master cylinder with fluid. Close. Pump the brake lever a few times, and I think we're getting there. I'm going to do the left side, same process. I'm going to put the towel down. This one is not going to go into the wheel as much. So this one's a little bit harder with one hand. So I have my right hand on the brake. Same thing. I'll let it just kind of squirt out. Do this a few times. That's not good. Definitely harder with one hand. And on top here, make sure you top this up before you put on the cap. So I'm about to do that now. I'm going to put oil and then put the cap on. So now I put brake fluid on here. It is solid, so I should have good braking power in the front. Clean everything else. If you have any brake fluid on your metal, plastic, clean it off. It's corrosive. This plastic, just 2 bolts here. Should remove it. This is the coolant. I'm actually surprised it's in the upper mark still. And on this side, you have fuses, you have, I guess, for the blinkers, and then you have your rear brake master cylinder, and this is the leads for the battery. So that's the negative, and it goes into this hole here that attaches to the battery. But I am going to be also looking at the rear master cylinder and seeing if it needs anything. That's the rear brake master cylinder. I can see some crud on the fluid itself, so I'm just going to drain it all out using the same process that we did. And the rotor is on the right side. There's the nipple. Same thing. I'm going to cover this really well so I don't get fluid everywhere, but we're going to undo this, push the brake lever, tighten it, and repeat until all the old oil disappears from here. Side plastic, same thing, 2 bolts on here. This is going to give you access to the rectifier, but I just want to remove everything. Then I have to remove the tank, and 1 screw is stuck. That's going to be more difficult. I caked the chain with a bunch of wax. I don't know if that's, but it seems like to have hold. But I might have to get rear sprockets. I do have a chain. So this is the left side cover, and you can see there's just like a bunch of crud everywhere. I'm going to be doing a deep clean on this. But also, there's the other terminal for the battery. I'm going to have to fish that out, and this is, I believe I had to do something with this because one of these burned, but now it's on there. There's also the main fuse over here. It's really hidden. I wish Honda didn't do that. And yeah, it seems to be all intact. I think sometimes these wires go bad. This is also a culprit in a lot of Hondas, including VFRs. But yeah, now we're going to remove the bolts for the plastic here. Unfortunately, this one is stripped out, so I don't know what I'll do about that. I removed the fuel pump. There it is. And I have the hoses here. So I'm going to turn it to on, and I'm going to drain it onto this gas can. Hopefully that'll work. If not, I'm going to have to go back to removing the gas tank, which I still might have to do. And I mean, the bike is just so dirty. So dirty. I cleaned it though. That's the strange part, but you know, I did ride it pretty hard. All right, let's get started. This is pretty important because the gas has been sitting still for a very long time. And gas in this country, it's I think it's worth more than gold. 1.8 per liter. There's 3.7 in a gallon. All right, I finished draining the bike. That worked. Just draining it through the fuel pump. Now I'm going to install this battery just to see if I have electrical circuit on the bike. When it comes to the design for the Africa Twin, the battery system, very difficult to put it on because you have the leads that are cut into a hole on each side. So very difficult. Yes, Honda was making things difficult even back then. But you just have to have tiny hands and some patience. And let's hook this thing up and turn on the key just to see if it has power. I got the battery hooked up. Let's turn on the key. It's not going to do anything because I'm not even going to start it, but I just want to see if there's lights, and there are. Everything seems to be working. And that's it. That's pretty successful there. Bike has got electrical power. There's some issues, but I'm about to run and get some gas. Then I want to start this thing up. Even though it's got the old oil, I want to see if it actually will start. New can of gas, we're going to fill it up and see if she'll start after we put in the pump, of course. So now I'm going to put the pump back onto its place. New gas is in, on. Put it in the ignition. Turn the petcock to on. No, going back now. Turn on. Choke. Nothing. And it stopped cranking. Okay. On, off, on. Let's crank it again. Was hoping on getting this thing to run, but apparently the wire that goes from the fuel pump to whatever over there is just not getting power. So it's not pushing the fuel to the fuel pump, or the fuel pump is not pumping out. But the fuel pump is working because I hardwired it to the battery and it did work. So now I have to figure out why that's not working. Ended up taking just about everything off the Africa Twin, and I think what it turns out, it was a fuse. And I still don't know why the fuse, there's an issue, but the tail meter horn, and I switched the fuses from the 10 amp. Actually, I have to re-switch. So I need to make sure that the fan and all of this works, because I think I have a bad fuse, and it might just be corroded because it's not broken or anything. But this is what a Africa Twin looks naked, and it's got some issues. So what I thought was the issue was the fuel pump here. The fuel pump is really expensive, 250 euros, and it's very easy to like install and everything. But the problem is that these pumps tend to go. There's two parts to the Africa Twin. So if your Africa Twin is not working, if you have a full tank of gas, the bike will work and use up the top part of the fuel, and then once it gets to the middle, it will not be able to push the fuel to the carburetor. So that's when you need that. So if you ever break down, just add fuel, you might be able to get to a mechanic or something. But these tend to go. It went out on me. I have a facet pump that's better, but I can't get connectors in this country for it. So I'm gonna have to figure that out some other time. And this is the electrics. I replaced some of these connectors. I replaced one here that was falling apart. You can see those are burned. They must have been touching at one point. I'm gonna replace those. But for right now, I'm gonna be mounting everything back on the bike and see if it'll fire. I actually did a little bit of a test to see if the pump was coming on, and I did feel some vibration. I have the gas tank here. Also, I was leaking here because, you know, I mean, this is the bottom of the Africa Twin, a real Africa Twin gas tank. So you have a hose here, one here for venting. I believe that's for venting too. Then you have the petcock here, and that's where the petcock goes. So actually, you have to turn it the other way, so it faces, I guess, to the left. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But that's the tank. Got the seat. I got the two plastics and those. The petcock for the Africa Twin is this long shape, goes right in there, and then it's got a screw. You have to get a screwdriver long enough to get it in there. But almost done here. All right, I got the petcock on. There is only one way of installing it. On the plastic, there's a rounded corner, That's what you line up in order to get it on. But once on, I should be able to fill it and do a quick test. I'm going to turn it to on. And she lives. I switched it to reserve. Apparently the fuel was so low that it was just dying off. Oh my God, I can't believe I got it to work. It sounds pretty darn good. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is remove this. I've actually never done it on this bike. Man, it's so... Jesus Christ. How does this come out now? Sure, it looks cool. It's a pain in the ass to deal with. So here's another bolt over here. Oh, that's better. There we go. Look at the dirt on that. We're gonna have to clean that. Very handy. Oh my God, this is so tight. A breaker tool or something. Oh my God. It is so freaking tight, man. There we go. Whew. Well, I discovered the culprit. It's the left rear brake caliper. So I'm gonna have to remove and see if I can build this again. That means that I'm gonna get a lot of fluid, the brake fluid. Luckily, I have plenty to redo the entire system, but I need to remove the entire thing. And here's the other washer. All right, guys, new problem. So this is the left front brake caliper, and one of the pistons, that one, is not doing anything. This one's getting stuck. So I have to get this out, but I don't have the tools, so I might actually have to find a shop to see if they will be able to rebuild this. Unless you guys have any ideas of what to do. So post up in the comments below. But that's just for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and hopefully I get this bike ready to ride pretty soon. I'm glad it is working. And I'm very surprised that it started up after minimal work. You know, it turned out that the big issue was just a fuse that was corroded. Who knew? I didn't have to remove all of this. But in a way, I'm glad, because I plan on just cleaning the entire thing, getting any rust spots from anywhere. And here's another issue. Not really an issue, but something very common. These wires that I just put like new terminals, they get very hot when the bike is running. That's why these are all darkened out. And in Europe, they don't have these sizes, so they have only smaller size, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm pretty happy that it's working. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.